Hi guys, and welcome to video number 1, Desk Ergonomics. In the SSAF funded VU Student Desk Ergonomics and Exercise video series. Today I'll be talking to you about desk ergonomics. So in basic terms, ergonomics is how efficient and comfortable your workspace is. Step number 1 in making your workspace ergonomic is your chair. So if you have a desk chair at home, that's perfectly fine. If you don't and you have a kitchen chair like I'm working on, I'll show you how to set this one up so it's most comfortable for you. First thing we want to do is make sure our feet can touch the floor. If they can't touch the floor, we can use books or steps to raise them so they're flat. The second thing we want to do is making sure we have 2 to 3 finger space between the crease of our knee and the base of our chair. So just checking here, working my way back into the chair until I've got 3 finger space. Next thing we want to check is the base of our chair and the base height of our chair. I want to fit comfortably in it. So my thighs aren't hanging over, I'm not wobbly. Same with my back. It's all secure, it's not going to fling around everywhere. It's also not too narrow that it's going to poke in my back. Once I know I've fitted in my chair, we're going to look at back base support. So when I'm sitting back, I have a lot of space through here. Even though I've got space, we're going to make it more comfortable by using a pillow or a towel. So these are easy things you can have at home. Pillow sitting in the base here from lumbar support. So now I'm fully covered. There's no air in between my back and the back of my chair. Alternatively, we can use a towel, doing the exact same thing, putting it in the back there. But this for me is a little bit uncomfortable. I can unravel the towel or put it long ways. Here, more comfortable. So when it comes to setting up your chair, it's mainly what's more comfortable for you. You might have a chair that you sit right back on and your back's already fully covered, perfectly fine. If you do have space like I do, we're just going to chuck a pillow in the back there. And now, much better. What we also want to look for is that the height of the back of our chair is not too tall and not too small. So we want it to be from the back, lumbar spine, all the way up to our mid-scapulars. So the middle of our upper back. Once we've got our ideal chair set up, the next thing we're going to look at is our desk. The main thing we want to focus on with a desk is that we have thigh clearance. So the thigh is the top of our legs. We want to make sure that our chair, keeping our ideal position, fits, and I can still have space underneath my legs. So we want to make sure we have thigh clearance so we can fit our hands underneath our thighs and they don't get too squished, or we don't have too much space that our legs are just dangling everywhere. Again, if you can't touch the floor, pop a book or a step underneath so our feet are flat on the floor. If you can't fit your thighs underneath and you have the ability to lower your chair, just lower it a little bit and then rejig everything so you're still in a comfortable desk position. Once we have our comfortable chair set up in with our desk, the next thing we want to focus on is where our arms sit. So we want to be able to be in our desk, clearance with our thighs, and we want our elbows by our sides. When our elbows are by our sides, we can then fit in what we work with. If we have a desktop, it's in front of us. If we have a laptop, it's in front of us in a position where I don't have to reach too far forward or change my neck multiple times a day. When we have our desk set up, we have our usual job objects, so the things that we use the most, close by. So we have them in a position where we don't have to repetitively reach and pull things closer, because that gives us, we could have repetitive strain injuries for our shoulders or our back from too much twisting or moving. We also want, if we have to read something or if we're working for a long time from our screen, we also want that in a comfortable position, that we're not ending up leaning forward or we're not ending up leaving our neck in a position that is not neutral for a long period of time. To set up my space, I have all of my desk accessories here with me. So what I use mostly is my drink bottle, my mouse, my diary and notepad. I also have my screen glasses, pens, and my phone. So now I have all my usual objects in my usual space, all in a position that I don't have to extend my arm too far, changing my back position. I'm in my comfortable, ideal chair position. My arms are rested, elbows by my side. I can grab my drink bottle. I can grab my phone. I can look for what I have to do today in my diary. The occasional things that I may use, textbooks, other reading books, are in my occasional workspace, and that is slightly further back. If you have a desk with shelving up the top, your occasional workspace can go up in the shelving. So we only may have to put ourselves in a slightly uncomfortable position for a minimal amount of time. When I go to get something up off the shelf, I then pop it in my usual space to use it. So my occasional space, I have some textbooks, and they just stay there on the off chance that the day that I may use them, they are ready. I take one from the occasional space and put it in my usual space, use it, and then pop it back. The use of desk accessories can be a way to maximize the ergonomics of our workstation and limit the amount of potential musculoskeletal issues we can have. So if we are able to increase our screen height, we want it at eye level. So here I'm looking comfortably at my laptop screen. I'm not consistently looking up, so it's not too high, and I'm not with a flexed neck looking forward. To help this, I have a Bluetooth keyboard. So in my ideal chair position, my elbows are by my side, and I can work looking at my screen at eye height, working with the keyboard. As well as the keyboard, we can have a mouse. This limits shoulder movements, being in an uncomfortable position, as well as our wrists continually being flexed and uncomfortable. By using a mouse, my hand is neutral, so I'm over the top, and I can just move my fingers looking at my screen and then typing away on the keyboard. If I do have to look at a document for a long period of time, I can use a document holder. If you don't have one at home, what we can do is, if you have a clipboard, We can clip our document into the clipboard and have some books behind or a drink bottle to balance it on top. So if this was my document, it's resting on my drink bottle, I can look to type and look at my screen. I don't have to look down on the floor if it's on the table, and then I'm looking up to type. Looking down, looking up. Here, repetitive movements in our neck, also in our back as well, as we twist continuously. If you have a job where you're on the phone, it'll be worthwhile getting a headset so you don't have to have your phone here, taking notes, typing notes on your laptop, writing notes on your hand. So they're the various accessories we can have. Finally, the last thing to make our desk space ergonomic is the environment that we're in. So we want a workspace where we walk into it and say, this is where I work, whether it's in your bedroom at your desk, in your kitchen, in your lounge room, you have a designated space. This is where I work. At the end of the day, you can pack it up and then it can go into what you usually use the space for. We want a space that is quiet. We want a space with good lighting. We want a space that's not too hot or too cold. If you have no control over the heating or cooling, just make sure you have, you might have a jacket nearby, you might have a blanket or a beanie. Alternatively, if it's rather warm where you are, we have a t-shirt or a singlet, something that keeps us comfortable throughout. The most important thing to remember while working at home or at your desk is to take a rest. When we're working, a lot of the times we forget what the time is. We don't have a reminder, especially working from home or studying from home. We don't have set rest breaks. It's good to remember that every 20 to 60 minutes, we look away from our screen. When I take a little rest break, 20 to 60 minutes, I look away, close my eyes for a couple moments, look up. I then do a couple neck mobility exercises in case I've gotten super excited with what I'm doing. I've come up off my chair, typing away. I reset myself in my chair. I do a few neck rotations, lateral flexions, and a few chin tucks just to remind myself, neutral position. Every 60 minutes to 2 hours, try and get up from your workspace. So we can stand, have a little walk around. Here we might do a few of our stretches. So I might grab my towel, and if I found I was getting really frumpy and curved, not sitting back in my chair, I can do some back squeezes. I can do some shoulder mobility, some windmills, and then go have a little bit of a longer break. 10 minutes of a walk around, exiting the workspace, so you know once you've left, okay, work is done, or now it's time for a rest, set work aside, have a little 10-minute break, grab a drink of water, grab something to eat, and when we come back and set ourselves down, we're ready to work again.